So I am not much of a writer, but I have this story that I have been working on since I was like 12 years old. And earlier this year, I was really excited about it and really getting into plotting it. So I have started plotting it, and I'm using the 3-act story structure by Abby Emmons, and I am at the aha moment, which is pretty close to the end. So right now I'm plotting my book, and I'm definitely not doing NaNoWriMo, but I am trying to use November as a way to write a little bit more. Writing is really hard for me, so I doubt I would have ever even gotten into it if my siblings hadn't. But I find it kind of fun. I like the idea of writing a book and coming up with a story. I'm just not very good at doing it. It's always been really hard for me to think of things to write, but it just stretched me a lot trying to write this book and figure out what in the world is happening. So I'm gonna continue plotting my book for a little bit. I've got some English breakfast tea, and yeah, I'm just gonna try to see what I can come up with.
Okay, so I'm sitting down to write. I got a little bit behind on NaNoWriMo, so I have a day and a half to catch up on. So yeah, if you don't know what NaNoWriMo is, it is National Novel Writing Month, and it's a challenge to write 50,000 words in a month. So I did it 2 years ago, and I'm doing it again this year. And the novel that I'm currently working on is one that I have been thinking about and figuring out for a really long time, and it's basically, it's kind of hard to explain genre-wise, but it is kind of like a Victorian dystopian that is focusing on a couple different characters who have very different lives, and one of those is Rilla, who is the middle child in a pretty typical family, and when some very hard things start happening to their city, this family gets very affected by that and starts to take action. The other point of view is actually one that I decided to add very last minute, and this character is the villain's grandson, so you get to see into the world of the evil that's going around a little bit closer. That's just a little bit about my story that I'm working on. I think I'm on chapter 6 now, and I'm working on a part where Virgil, the villain's grandson, is finding out some more secretive things going on, so that will be the scene I'm working on. I've really enjoyed writing this book so far. It'll be my second novel, and I feel like with this one, I got into the groove a little bit sooner, and I think part of that comes with just not taking myself too seriously. I've been writing lots of scenes that probably wouldn't make it into a final draft, but it's really fun for me to just write the scenes that I want to write. It's also been fun to kind of make it Victorian-ish, I guess. I definitely didn't want it to feel like a historical fiction because I am nowhere near skilled enough to write something like that, but I did want it to have that kind of vibe, and I feel like it's really fun to write like that, even if it's not accurate. So yeah, I'm going to do, I think, one 30-minute writing session because I can get about 1,500 words written in that time if I use the Most Dangerous Writing app, which I plan on doing. If you don't know what that is, it is just a website where you write, and if you pause for too long, like just a few seconds, it will start to erase everything you've written. So you've got to hurry and get those words on the page, or what you wrote will be gone. And you can have like a timer. I think I'll either do 3 10-minute sessions, or maybe like a 10-minute and a 5-minute twice, or something like that. So that is what I will be doing. And yeah, trying not to be too stressed that I'm behind already, but I feel like since I've completed NaNoWriMo before, I don't feel as much pressure to do it this time. So if I don't make it to 50,000 words, it's not the biggest deal. But with all that said, I should definitely start writing, and I will take you along with that process. So it is now the next day, and I didn't end up doing my second writing session yesterday, so I am still, I think, a day behind. So I decided to sit down and do a bit of writing. I don't know if I'll do a full day, but I'm going to do at least a bit, maybe a 10-minute session. I feel like yesterday was not a super productive writing day for me, at least in terms of making the story progress more. I just didn't really know where I was going, and it didn't go the best, but it was still words written. So yeah, I'll continue with that and hopefully move on to some more interesting scenes that I'm more looking forward to writing. That is being productive here. I could show my Scrivener page a little bit and show you what that looks like. So Scrivener is a writing program that you can buy and install onto a computer, and it's basically just got lots of different features, but you can customize a project. You have like your folder library on the side here, and then you get taken into a document like this, and it's just a nice way to organize everything. So here's like a layout of all my chapters, and then I have like different sections here. I have my outline, and then some more like detailed outlines, and lots of character stuff here. And also like I have references and things, which is this is really helpful if you want to remember information a lot. and you can just go and find that really easily. So that is my Scrivener setup for this novel. You can do different ones. This is like my background picture that's supposed to be kind of the vibe of the story. I have a whole Pinterest reference. So this is my inspiration for my story. I've just got lots of different character things, just lots of pictures of kind of what I envision things looking like. If you are writing a story, I would highly recommend making something like this on Pinterest, or just finding photos, collecting things that inspire your story. This is definitely helpful to go to if you're kind of stuck. I always usually just come to this and kind of go through it. I guess just to remember more of your vision, or, you know, your imagination for the story, more than just the technical plot. Yeah, that was kind of rambling. I'm kind of stalling writing, but I'm gonna get started and hopefully make some progress. So I only wrote about 500 words, but I also plotted chapter 7 out. So that's the progress I've made today so far. Did you do anything with your book?
I just came upon a question that needs to be answered, and I have no idea how to answer it, so I got kind of stumped.
Right now we are going to Hobby Lobby to get a few things for a book club we've started. I don't think we've talked about this on our blog yet, but this will be our second book club meeting where we just have some tea, talk about some books, and we're going to do a little craft as well. So that is what we're shopping for today.
Today was one of those days where you just don't want to do anything. I started off the morning pretty unproductive, but after Amelia went to work, I tried to get some things done. I did a tiny little bit of plotting, some reading, and I finally replied to a letter. We were about to make dinner, but I am so close to finishing plotting my novel, which is really exciting but also really scary because then I have to write it, and I've already written and rewritten some chapters, but now I actually have a plot that I'm going to try to follow. So I have just like 2 more questions in the 3-act story structure plot I'm following. I have just started answering the question for the climactic confrontation, and then there's only victory and resolution after. So I'm really excited to be finishing this. I'm going to try to finish my plot tonight, which is really exciting. But we'll have to see. Every time I try to write, I just get stuck on something and then I can't write anymore, but I'm going to try to do that tonight.
So I have written about 1,500 words so far today, which puts me just at, I think, a day and a half behind still. So I'm gonna write a little bit more tonight by bribing myself with getting to do something that I want in a little bit. It has been so fun to write and push myself a lot in that, but I'm getting a little burnt out, which is bad because it's only the 10th. We're only a third through, but I'm sure I'll come back around as I kind of approach more of the action of the story. But I'm enjoying myself by still just exploring the characters. I've just loved seeing how this family works together, and they are currently at a harvest ball, and some things are about to take place that are going to not exactly change things, but further what's been going on. And I mean, I guess it will change things. They're going to get involved in some new and exciting things that are going to be very dangerous as well. So that's where I'm at right now. And I think we're wrapping this up tomorrow, so I will see you then. So it's been 2 days since I last updated. I think the last time that I talked was when I was writing one night to try to catch back up, and I actually did get caught up, and I think I wrote around 3,000 words that night, and I think I might have done the math a little wrong because I wasn't as behind as I thought I was, and I got back on track, and yesterday I just wrote to my word count. I've made it to chapter 10, and a new group of people have now been entering into the mix of everything, and my second POV is going through some troubles right now. So that's where I'm at currently.
I didn't actually finish my plot like I said I was going to, but I'm really close. I didn't write a whole lot more, but I've been thinking a lot about what's gonna happen, and I'm really close to figuring out how it ends, but I'm still not quite sure.
This was really fun for me to kind of show my process of writing. I think NaNoWriMo this year has been a good challenge for me because I had really not been pushing myself to write, and I had not had that discipline. And as much as it has been hard, I'm kind of surprised that it is almost halfway over and that I'm actually quite far into my story. It feels like it's gone really fast, which has kind of differed to my other story. I think I'm pushing through it faster. It's also been fun to do a couple things on the side, like collect pictures and collages, and I also made a little fake cover, which was not anything special and was just really quick, but just makes the story feel more real.
Like I said at the beginning, I'm not much of a writer, but I do really enjoy it when I actually do it. So this was really fun for me. I'm glad Amelia challenges me to write more often, and I hope you enjoyed coming along with us for a few days as we write. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.